I do, I know.
Okay.
I wasn't thinking about it, it's just been there for months.
I support Spock Love.
Excellent.
William, can you please state your name and outfit?
So William Mullally for Al Arabiya. I know you know some other Mullalys as well.
I do. Are you related?
I think distantly. My grandma's always said that we are.
Wow.
She's a big fan.
Awesome.
Weird that you look like Nick Offerman.
That's right.
Yeah, I guess just Mullalys. We stick with our kind. When this movie was pitched to you originally, you turned it down.
Yeah.
And obviously Anish came back. I don't know if it was the same for you when you first heard about it, if you felt skeptical about the idea or if this was something that immediately excited you. But what was it about the film that made you feel like this was the way it should be told and the story that's worth telling? What finally convinced you that this was going to be as good as it actually turned out to be?
For me, it was the assurance that it would be a cinematic experience and that it wouldn't be about the device or the devices, that it would be an emotional story, that it feel like a classical, suspenseful thriller. And meeting him, being excited with him and about him as a storyteller, I said, let's go, I'm in. But it took a meeting. Ironically, it was like, the reason I turned it down, I think, was I didn't get who he was from the phone call that we had. And then when we sat down and I saw him face to face and got his energy, and I saw the vision, felt the vision really, being with him, that's when I was convinced.
I think it was twofold. I think that seeing his 2-minute Google video and how emotionally rich it was, what he was able to do with that, made me feel like, in terms of the heart of the story, that it would live in a way that was satisfying. And like he said, just talking to Anish and hearing how passionate he was, how clear he was, he knew exactly what he wanted to do. And I just felt that sure-footedness really, really clearly. And I was like, all right, I don't know if it's gonna work, but I want to support this effort because it just felt so bold and fresh and unexpected.
And each of you haven't done many thrillers, but obviously you're used to a thriller where there's lots of running and chasing and this sort of loud music. So how difficult was it for you to, maintain that sort of, the right kind of performance that's going to create this sort of tension with this device when you're looking at a GoPro that's sitting on top of a laptop in a room?
Well, for me, excuse me, I like physicalizing scenes as much as possible. It just makes it easier for an actor. It's hard to be false when you're running down a corridor. You're just running. And so I always look for opportunities to physicalize something because it helps me and it helps tell the story. So to have to do that, to have to find ways to sort of transpose all those emotions and all that storytelling from physicality to like just thoughts, just intentions was tricky. It was new. I didn't feel comfortable for most of the movie.
Nor did I. No. It was, when you talk about having the suspense and feeling sure about that it was in the right world, I had no assurances. I really felt like I couldn't gauge because I was acting with a blank screen. I didn't know if, the energy I was putting into the screen was out of proportion. And it really was giving over to Anish and the whole creative team, the editing, to really just say, okay, they're going to protect me. They're going to choose, what is going to service this film and just sort of hope for the best.